Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at this product from Ridgid. This is the 18-volt hybrid folding panel light. This operates on the Ridgid 18-volt battery system and is, in my opinion, a pretty novel light that Ridgid offers. A couple little things here. You open the box and there's all the usual paperwork you get in the box. All right, so you look on the box here and a couple little highlights is primarily the folding part of the light. And in theory, if you're running this on a battery, it offers theoretically 14 hours of runtime with one 5 amp hour battery and 2500 lumens of light. But what's interesting is neither myself or my father, who this light is for, actually own any other Ridgid tools, or at least 18-volt Ridgid tools, because this light has a very unique feature, and that is you can see it there. There is the port right here that you can plug in a power cord. And so this light offers the ability to fold it around and to have probably about 300 degrees of illumination. If I hold this backwards, you can see where the panels are. There's a little gap on the back side, but it can reasonably well illuminate a room or any part thereof, or be able to double up the light and make it directional. And so this light, if you don't have the Ridgid platform, can still be a cordless light. Enter in what will make this cordless for my father is he owns quite a bit of the Ego power equipment and happens to have the Ego inverter. And so then with the Ego inverter, a regular Ego battery with their Power Plus system, and an extension cord, we can hook this together, and then all of a sudden this light is cordless, and you don't even need the Ridgid batteries to do that, which I think is the most important detail for why this works. So this could go anywhere outside. All you need is the Ego battery and the Ego inverter. Ryobi also has an inverter for their 18-volt battery that I think would work with this. I haven't tested it. I would love to be able to test it, but I don't have that. That would offer a similar option for how to convert this into other battery platforms. So to take a look at this light, on the back side, or on the side, there's a button here to press it on and off. And then there's a little dial here that we can dim it a little bit. And then there's a locking knob to be able to lock this. And at the bottom, there's a 1/4-20 tripod mount screw right there with the brass insert. And this relatively nice handle to be able to grab it and pick it up and move it. You can tilt it in any way that you want, again, to direct the light wherever you want, or set it on the floor and have it point up towards the ceiling and have it deflected out by moving these panels whichever way makes sense for your setup. And so I think this is really clever. I wish more manufacturers had lights that were set up like that. And so then if we plug the cord to the inverter here, I'll have to set this probably here off camera, and then we power on the Ego inverter. Take the female end of our cord. We'll plug this around to the back side, and then it goes in like that. And then we have our light. And you can see how I can dim that. All three lights dim at the same time, so you can't have one less dim than the other or some other combination of dimness. But you can obviously distribute the light however you want. One thing that I think would be nice is if there was a little bit better of a diffuser on these panels, because you can definitely see each individual LED pixel. I'd love to see something that makes it a little bit softer. I'm not sure if that comes through on camera, but it's definitely visible where you can sit here and see every single LED there. So I think it'd be nice if they had something, some means to be able to diffuse that. Another couple options that are on here, there's a couple keyhole mounts here at the bottom. If you could put some nails or screw heads into some rough framing on a job site to then be able to hang this from the 2 keyholes. Flip this around like that, you can see the battery mount there. And then there it is folded out. If we fold this out, the entire width of this light when it's fully folded out is about 20.5 inches. All right, so over here to the side, I've got the light all the way on. I've got it kind of folded out so you don't have to look at it. And I've got an AC line splitter plugged into the Ego Power Plus inverter pack and a amp clamp plugged in, looking at the AC draw on this, set to the 1x position. And this is checking in at about 0.18 amps. At 120 volts, works out to about 21.6 watts. So as long as your power source is rated for at least 21.6 watts, you should be able to run this light on full power. If I turn this down, and so then at its lowest setting, that's using 4.8 watts of power. Again, just for reference, if you're looking at other inverter combinations, if you don't already have the Ridgid battery, just make sure it's rated. This Ego one here is rated for 150 watts, if you can see that there. And so I think this will be an interesting add to my father's tool collection. And if you found this video useful and interesting, give it a thumbs up. Any other questions or comments, put it down below. Check back here for new videos. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and have